One of the challenges that I had with working online was understanding blogs and how to use them. I'd heard so much about it and how they could help websites, but also how they can help my business. And I didn't get it for a long time, but I've gotten a lot better. And I wanted to share some information with you. That's why I put this episode together, to offer you 10 blog writing and posting tips for your local business. You should choose a blog platform that best fits your needs. Self-hosted blogs are better in my opinion. You have more control and options. So this is the type that I recommend. Of course, there are free versions, what's known as hosted blogs, such as Blogger and WordPress. They have limited options and less control, but they're okay to use as a starting point. In fact, that's where I started when I first began to implement the use of blogs. I still have blogger sites, blogger.com blogs, which you get from Google. They're free. They come along with your Google Gmail accounts. And then WordPress also offers free versions. They're hosted, so you may be going along and one day you'll see ads on your blog that you didn't put there. Well, that's the disadvantage of using hosted blogs, but it's definitely a good place to start. Also on your blog, you should use relevant keywords in your blogs. You see, people enter certain keyword terms when they're searching for local products or services. So you should use these same keywords in your blog posts. They will help you show up higher in the search engine results. That is to draw your target market in. Use location-based SEO, or search engine optimization, in your blog. The results are geo-targeted, so this will help you capture those who are in your particular area. I had a website in photography marketing specifically, and I did good. I was ranked quite high on Google and other search engines, but I didn't focus on my local terms. Eventually I learned how important that was, and I began to include location-based keywords. So it's important for you, so you can include your city's names in your blog posts and their headlines, but make it a point not to overdo it. Keep your posts short and sweet. This is one of my biggest mistakes. I thought I had to write almost a long paper initially, but eventually I got into the rhythm, but it took me some learning, and in fact that's one of the reasons I made this episode, to help you to avoid some of the mistakes I made. You see, people love high quality content, but they do not want to read the lengthy, drawn out content. Also, in your blog posts, you should stay on topic. Get all of the important points across in a timely manner. And you got to feel your way through that. I started out with very, very long posts, and sometimes my posts aren't as short as they should be now, but there's a way you can handle that. Use bullet points in longer posts. Break up longer posts using the bullet points because they're more visually appealing, and it makes content a lot easier to follow and to read. It seems that people enjoy reading lists, and if you put together a long blog post and you use bullet points, well, that will make more of what you're writing in the blog post appear as a list, and you'll have a tendency to have more readers there, and they'll appreciate it. Make sure you proofread your posts before posting. I know this seems obvious, but often we just write it and put it up there. First impressions are everything. Just keep that in mind. So proofread your content before posting. Look for typos and grammatical errors. Unprofessional posts could turn off customers and potential customers. But let me say this. Be yourself. Be authentic as possible. Be careful about slangs and words that are just local to your area. Also, when you're writing about your business, write as if you're writing to your target audience, not to other professionals. On my photography website, and I have a newsletter, and I interact with a lot of other photographers, and they ask me to take a look at their websites. And when I do that, I find the content they use on their website, but also in their blogs, is content that's written to other photographers, and I don't think that's who they're looking to sell their photography services to. So it's important that when you're writing your blog, your content should be directed towards your target audience. Also, use images in your posts. People are naturally attracted and drawn to content that has images. Add images to your blog posts to spice them up and to break up the content. And make sure when you use images within area known as the alt text, make sure you put your keywords in that. If you don't understand what that is, don't worry about it right now. Go to Google, type in alt text, alt spelled A-L-T, text. You might even type how to use alt text, and it'll explain to you what it is, but it makes your images more search engine optimization ready. Remain consistent with your posting schedule. This was a real challenge for me. I'm not consistent in a lot of the things that I do, but I made it a point to be as consistent as possible writing blogs. And initially I got caught up in trying to write one every day. Then I scaled it back to 5 days a week. And I've since found out, for me, the best schedule is 2 to 3 blogs per week. But once you start posting, don't stop. Especially don't go months at a time without posting, because your audience will lose interest. So it's important to create a consistent schedule to post. Make a list of blog post ideas ahead of time, so you don't have what some people refer to as writer's block. Don't let yourself run out of ideas. Set aside some time to sit down and write down at least 20 blog post ideas. Do this every so often to ensure you always have fresh ideas. Write the content for yourself or outsource it, but you must outsource with caution. Outsource writers have a tendency to go too technical, and it won't be directed, once again, it won't be directed to your target audience. In most cases, blog readers want to know that whoever's writing the posts are just like them and writing at a level that they can grasp, understand, and relate to. So, best to write the content yourself. Make sure you provide value on your blog. Keep your blog entertaining, informative, and engaging for your target audience. Many photographers go through a lot of trouble writing blog posts where all they really need to do is, in my opinion, post photos that they've taken and maybe give a little explanation about the photos, about the images themselves. I know 2 or 3 photographers who are also poets, so they'll take scenic shots, post them, and then write prose or short poems. Some of them write long poems, but you don't have to get too sophisticated with your blog posts depending on who your target audience is. So you can keep your blog entertaining, informative, and make sure above all else that it's engaging for your target audience, because this will keep them coming back for more. When trying to decide on topics, ask yourself what they would want to know, not so much what you are caught up in, unless you're just writing it for self-satisfaction versus trying to attract customers from your target audience. I want to thank you for listening to this episode, and if you would like to see a blog example, I would like to encourage you to visit my website at www.kaleemakil.com. Once again, www.kaleemakil.com. When you get there, click on my blog tab and see where I am these days. I'd appreciate also if you'd leave comments at the bottom of the blog, or even if you have questions, I'd appreciate that. Thank you, and I hope you found this episode valuable.